Welcome back, developer. Today we continue mastering encapsulation, one of the most important pillar of OOP. Think of your bank account is a real life. You can check your balance, you can deposit, you can withdraw, but you cannot directly open the bank computer and change the balance. Right, why? Because sensitive data requires protection. This exact protection mechanism is what encapsulation gives us in programming. Today we will decode a class that works like a real bank account. You will understand deeply. So in this class we are going to learn what is underscore some variable names, what are the use of this, and why this is called a protected variable. Why are the what are the concept of protected and private variables in OOP? So till now you not check the first already uploaded videos. So go to the code with Hafiz and check Python OOP masterclass concepts before continue this class. And if you are new on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and like. In our last class we write all this code, but we not understand what they are and what are the purpose of this code. On this line class bank account, first of all we create an Python file with bankapp.py. Here inside this class we define a class with name bank account. So let me zoom in to clear the code. On the first line, basically on this line we are creating a class named bank account. A class is a blueprint or template, as we know, as we learn in our previous classes. So we are creating a class named bank account. This class is a blueprint or template. It describes what a bank account object will have, data, or do some method. So inside this we have this decorator. We have a constructor, not a decorator. So def under underscore init under underscore self owner balance. So def under underscore init under underscore, basically this is the constructor method, runs automatically whenever we create a new account. And its job is, this constructor job is to initialize the object's data. It receives values for owner and balance. Inside our owner variable we are going to store we are going to provide the name of the person, and inside balance to initialize money in the account for that particular person. And as we know, the self refers to the specific object being created. So on the next line, self.owner equal to owner basically saves the account owner's name inside the object, and this is a public variable. So this is a public variable, remember this point, this is a public variable. So as we know, the public variable is a variable type. Anyone can access it freely because it is not sensitive. On the next line I'm going to modify this line self dot underscore balance equal to balance. As you see, I am writing here the underscore balance. What this underscore balance starts with one underscore, this means it is protected, and the balance variable will not directly access. So self dot underscore balance, here let me write here, don't access this directly, but still accessible if someone forces it. Python does not block it, just a warning. We make it as a protected because the bank balance should not be changed directly by outside user. That's why we create like a protected. Why protected? We mark it protected because the bank balance should not be changed directly by outside user. We want to control access through a method. On the next line, def show underscore balance, we pass self here. So this method show underscore balance, a method to print the money present in the account. So this is underscore balance, not the balance. So this method is basically responsible to print the money present in the account. As you see inside the print line, we are using the f string and the balance colon self dot underscore balance, accessing protected variable inside the class. So basically we are accessing inside the bank account class the protected variable, and this is possible and this is allowed to access the protected variable. Whenever this method will call, this will show the balance safely. On the next line here, let me continue my code. I am going to create an object for that very class, and here I am going to pass Hafiz. The person name is Hafiz, and then let's say the balance is 6,000. Basically on this line I am creating an object with owner Hafiz and with balance 6,000. So constructor sets underscore balance, this constructor sets underscore balance to 6,000. After that account dot show underscore balance, and let me enclose this into print, and if I run this code Python, let's see cd class 2, and inside this Python bank app, let me run this. As you see I am getting balance, account.show balance, it will give us 6,000. So here we are also, if I write this show underscore balance and if I run this again, and this will print balance 6,000. So basically we are accessing balance via a method show underscore balance, not modifying it directly. We are not modifying any value of balance directly. We are just accessing the value or displaying the balance. What are the balance for the current owner Hafiz? So this is a good practice in real apps. As you see we also display the balance using this. So this works, but it is not recommended approach. Basically it violates the protection rule. Developers only use this for debugging, not in final apps. So that's why I commit it. So the perfect approach is to show the balance, account.show balance, and it will print us the balance. I hope this will make sense for you. If any doubt till now, please comment it. So in this code we learn about how to define, how to create a protected variable inside OOP, inside class. You learn this about how to write and how to define a protected variable with underscore. So this basically wants developers to avoid direct access, still readable if needed, not blocked, used for data that should not be changed frequently, used for data that cannot be changed freely. So we learn about protected variable in this class. So I am going to create another file with name private variables.py. So here in this class we are going to learn about private variables. So what are the private variables and how to define private variables inside Python. So let me create a class with name employee, and after that inside this, as we usual, we create a constructor in it under underscore, and we pass self name and salary. So after that let me finish my code, then I will explain each and every line. Don't worry about this. Self dot name equal to name, self dot under underscore salary equal to salary. I will pass the salary. So after that chef def show salary, and here self. So after that I want that when this method will call, just print using f string salary self dot under underscore salary. So after that I'm going to create an object employee, and here I will pass Ali and let's say 860,000 86,000. Then employee dot show underscore salary, and if I print this emp dot under underscore salary. Let me correct the spelling. First I am going to comment this line. So what I did till now, this basically class we create a class with name employee, and this class represents an employee in a company. Then we have def under underscore init under underscores. We This constructor receives basically the name and the salary. And self dot name, this will receive the name of the employee, and self dot under underscore salary equal to salary. As you see, this one is our public variable, anyone can access it, this one. And this one, the next one we use here under underscore salary. So this is basically a private variable. As you know, the public variable can access it, anyone can see the employee name, no worries about that. This is public variable. And we have self dot under underscore salary, we pass salary. This is private because it starts with under underscore, two time under underscore. The under underscore salary cannot be accessed from outside the class. Sensitive data must be protected, and Python will hide it internally using name mangling. This is real world logic. Salary is confidential and must not be changed directly. So how the Python will hide this? The private using name mangling. Python hide this using name mangling. So the private variable will be hid by Python using name mangling. So after that we have a method show underscore salary. Inside this class we can access the private variable. There is no problem because this method is inside employee. And then we create an object. We create an object with name Ali and salary 86,000. So employee dot show underscore salary. If I run this code, clear my terminal, Python private variables.py. Let me run this. As you see, I am getting 86,000. When I run this employee.show underscore salary, when this method will call, I am getting 86,000. Why this? Because the show underscore salary is a private method and allowed because method is a public, and we are getting the 86,000, the salary of the person with name Hafiz Ali. So if I uncomment this line and if I run the code, clear my terminal, run my code, as you see employee object has no attribute under underscore salary. This is hiding because we have under underscore salary, but the Python hide this using name mangling. And this is the beauty of encapsulation and the private variables and public variables inside Python. How the private variable are saved inside classes and no one can access it directly. So we are accessing it, we are going to access the employee underscore salary, and we in this is inside our class, but we are not accessing this because this is a private variable. So the direct access is blocked. Why this shows an error? Direct access is blocked, and Python throws an error imply object has no attribute under underscore salary, but we have under underscore salary inside our imply class, but direct it is blocked because this variable is private. No one can access it directly. Let me understand why we are not. Here question arises why we cannot access this under underscore salary. So let me explain more. Because Python renames the variables internally to protect it. This is called name mangling. So here question arises, what is name mangling? So what is name mangling? So when we write self dot under underscore salary, when we write this, as you see here, when we write this, so the Python will change it directly to underscore employee, then under underscore salary. Python does this because to protect private variables so nobody can accidentally access them. So when you write the private variable under underscore salary, and we cannot access this private variable because due to the name mangling. Inside behind the scene the Python will convert this private variable using name mangling underscore employee under underscore salary. It does this to protect private variables so nobody can accidentally access them. So we still access it? Here question arises another, can we access it still? Yes, but this is not a recommend approach. Let me write a code how we can access the private variable directly. Print emp dot employee under underscore salary. Let me comment this line, and we have employee dot show salary. This will print this salary. Let me print here some. So this will print basically the stars 20 times after calling this method. So save this, and if I clear my terminal, Python private, and run this, as you see I am getting 86,000 again. Why I am getting this? Basically this is due to we are accessing a private variable using name mangling. So this is not a recommend approach. You can access it private variable using name mangling. So let me comment this line. So let me clear the terminal and run again this my code, and this is going to we are displaying the salary of a person employee Ali. So here question arises, why does this work? Because Python internally renames under underscore salary to this one. Python internally convert this to this one. If we know the class name, we can access it manually. And should we do this? No, only for debugging or learning, not in real apps. So the double underscore, Python hides the variables. It rewrites it under underscore salary to employee under underscore salary. This prevents accidental access, still accessible if someone really wants to break the rules. This is Python's way of protecting private data. So the public variable here self.name equal to name. This is public variable, and public variable is free to access everywhere inside your code. And then we learn about underscore. Inside this code we learn about the protected variables. We can access it directly, but warning when we access this. we get warning when we access it. Let me write here print account dot underscore balance, and if I run this code, as you see I am getting the balance when this method show underscore balance call, and we are also accessing the protected variable value directly. Then we learn about private variables with underscore salary. This is strong protection. Name mainly underscore Python change underscore salary to this one. Protect sensitive data, avoid accidental changes, maintain security. So this is about the part 2 of encapsulation, and we are going to learn about getter and setter in encapsulation. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.